Hey guys, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning, here tonight to chat about this new Sacred Paws album, Run Around the Sun. Sacred Paws are a Scotland-based indie pop act. Their 2017 debut, Strike a Match, was actually a really fun indie pop album. And honestly, it's a little too damn catchy for its own good. Yeah, they brought in elements of post-punk, but it brought in this sunshiny indie pop blast that was well needed as well. And these new singles from the band ever since have honestly been the colorful blast of indie pop that I wanted right about now. Let's chat about this new album. I'm just going to come out and say it. This album actually gives me a lot of hope for the indie pop genre. This album starts off with The Conversation. Right off the bat, this is breezy and upbeat, dare I say, a lot of fun. Like, the carefree element of this track is just so likable. Like, trust me, there may be an overabundance of very breezy, sunny indie pop out there right now, but none of it is as enjoyable as this, at least in my book. The harmonies also are seriously on point. And call me crazy, but there's even a little attitude deep down in there from those post-punk roots. Hearing this, like I said, just gives me a whole lot of hope for the indie pop genre right now. Almost It doesn't waste a single second, once again super sunny, and as these moments go on, I swear their harmonies get better and better, like the dueling vocals here are absolutely stellar. And we see the inclusion of a horn section here, which is something we see a lot of on this album, and in a ridiculous twist, it doesn't end up coming off cheesy. As a matter of fact, it takes me back to like a simpler time where I could just enjoy like ska music in the 90s. Like, trust me, this is far from ska or anything like that, but it just has this positive energy to it that is just giving me all the wonderful vibes. Tracks like Write This Down, hell yes, this is fascinating. Just when I got done thinking that this is an album that has so much energy, so much non-stop energy to it, and fearing that the band would slow it down a little, they do slow it down a little bit here, and it's actually pretty interesting. This one is so much less punky and upbeat and shows the group going for some more grooves. The result is just this genuinely compelling, funky tune. And it's something that I really want to hear a lot more of in the future, to be honest. And some of the horn breakdowns towards the finale are just freaking awesome. There's also a bunch of tunes here that show Sacred Paws putting their best foot forward and progressing in a way. Life's Too Short has a lot of really cool little details. The hazy synths and the retro production here are really great. All of that alongside of some of the elements that we've been hearing on other tunes here, like the harmonies, makes for genuinely one of the catchiest tracks here. It's also one of the most progressive tracks here, as this is like far from the original sound of this album. Really fascinating though. Shame on Me, on the other hand, is very hectic, almost hard to place. There's a little foreshadowing towards the end of the album here, trading in these very sunny vibes for much more grooves. But with these gigantic licks and these fantastic harmonies, Sacred Paws really pulls it off. I dare you to stay seated for this one. There's a lot of really interesting dips into other genres as well. This is just a really fun and genuinely compelling indie pop album. What's So Wrong is one of the more sprawling tunes here, and I love the bursts of colorful synths that we get. Like, these are the, dare I say, punky tunes that actually really fascinate me. It's a song of self-love and finding beauty in hard places, but it's actually done really well. And Is This Real has an absurd amount of personality. It's just so much fun and even like kooky and quirky in its instrumental. The sound effects that are sprinkled in and the quirky synths that pop in and out make this one of the most colorful tunes of the bunch. And I'll be honest, at this point, there really hasn't been a down point on the album, which is pretty stunning. Now, as far as how far goes, it doesn't hit me nearly as hard, especially not as far as the singles go. It's very quaint, it's very sweet though. Like, it's far from bad, and it's certainly very likable still. But of the first half of the album, this is like the first one that really doesn't stop me in my place. And if I had to choose one track here that I really wasn't into, it would be Brush Your Hair. Mostly because, to be honest, this one kind of sounds like 8 other tracks here. Like, it's upbeat, it's very airy, it's very sunny, there's tons of grooves. But outside of that, this track is sort of average at best. Even from a lyrical standpoint, this is just not nearly as punchy. But they really nail it with Other Side as a finale. This ends off the album on just such a wonderful, glorious, harmonious note, and Sacred Paws in general just overall seems so into this as a finale, so much more than the last track at least. So yeah, Sacred Paws on this album, I wouldn't say do anything too wild or forward-thinking for the indie pop genre. However, they seem to have brought together a collection of very funky, very groovy, very sunny indie pop tunes, some of the catchiest I've heard in ages. Like, if you just want to tune out for 40 minutes or so, have some fun, get some grooves, get out of your seat and move around a little bit, like, this is actually a really personality-filled and colorful indie pop album. One of the best I've heard all year. I'm feeling a strong 8 on this album, but let me know what you guys think down below. If you like the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, guys.